sometimes you just got to stop. You have to stop everything and get yourself in order. You know how we sort out the mail and paperwork and stuff, and we put everything in a pile? Like, you have to stop. You have to stop.
Empower You podcast is devoted to bringing real-world wisdom and encouragement to our listeners. We discuss a multitude of life principles and the process from an economic, cultural, and societal perspective. We believe that through tough conversations and shared wisdom, we can pave the path and leave a ladder for the future. Subscribe to our channel and let us empower you. Welcome back to Empower You podcast. My name is Kidboy Cooper, and I am so glad that you are here. Today's topic is going to be something really interesting. We're going to be talking about the truth you hate. And I think this is a really important topic because we all talk about living our truth, right? We talk about the importance of being authentic and being honest and genuine about where we are in our lives and who we are, our personality, our likes and dislikes. But we don't talk about the reality that some of the truth that we live, we hate. It causes us pain. It may reveal things about us that are not so attractive, not so great. And we have to have these conversations and understand the entirety of our truth so that we can acknowledge the things that we're having problems with, as well as give ourselves credit for the things that we do super well and that we are naturally good at doing. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And our guest for today is Lalitha Arnold. Now, Lalitha is a hairstylist, a boutique owner. She's an entrepreneur. She is a coach, a realist. She's been super, super helpful to me in my own entrepreneurship journey. She has been an entrepreneur for over a decade. She has worked with award-winning artists and styled some of the best people in the game. And she also coaches and teaches other entrepreneurs and helps them scale their businesses to 6 and 7 figures. She's a super humble, incredibly kind lady who is taking a little time out of her day to talk to us about the truth that you hate. And I'm so glad that she's willing to be here with us today. So let's go ahead and get started. Lalitha, how you doing?
Hello, and thank you for having me. I am excited to see where this is going.
Absolutely.
And for those who are listening, hi, I am Lalitha Arnold. I am a commissioned salon owner here in Chicago. I am also a small business consultant, and I help entrepreneurs grow and scale their business. I am also DIS certified, so that is a behavior analysis, and that's what I do.
Awesome. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. I won't take up too much of your time, and we'll get right into the questions. So we're talking about the naked truth that you hate, right? The things that we don't like to admit, but that we need to. And sometimes if you kind of go along a path of just constantly encouraging yourself. Everybody talks about speaking their truth, like this is my truth and blah, blah, blah. And that's great. But there's also things about our truth that we have to acknowledge that we don't like very much. And so that's kind of what we're talking about. And I feel like with the experience that you've had and the resume that you have built, I'm sure you've come across a lot of truths that you didn't like and have somehow overcome those. And so it makes you the perfect person for this topic. So my first question to you is what's the first thing you hear when you hear the naked truth you hate?
Um, the first thing that come to mind when I hear the naked truth you hate is the conversations that you're having in your head. Like, it's just like what you said. People, they'll be like, this is my truth. This is my truth. And most of the time when people repeat things twice, that means that they lying, right?
Mm.
So most of the time people are saying, this is my truth. This is my truth. They trying to convince you and themselves that this is my truth. But the truth is really in their head. They can't let that out, because if they let that out, then it becomes their reality.
Mm.
And some people are not ready for the conversations that they have within themselves to be their reality. So that's what I think about when I hear the naked truth.
Oh, wow. Your reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
as a business owner and a coach and being disc certified, what are some of the naked truths that you've discovered about yourself, your realities that you really, really hated?
Um, as I was coming up, some of the naked truths that I hated was that I did not have good customer service skills.
Mm.
I was extremely rude.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, I was rude, and I was arrogant with it too. I was arrogant with it because I'm good at what I do. So for some reason, me being at that moment the typical business owner, I was just like, it doesn't matter. I didn't like own a brick and mortar, but I was a hairstylist. So in our world, sometimes we are our own boss, but I was also working in someone else's space.
Oh,
So I
okay.
was not my own boss. But I was rude, and I thought because I was so good that people will deal with that. And it was terrible. It was terrible. But now that I'm older and mature, and I know that that's not the way of life, I have all of the patience with people. I am extremely um, professional when it comes down to my business. A couple of other things that I realized about business that I really didn't want to say out loud was that I really didn't. As much as I love numbers, I really didn't know numbers.
Mm.
So I was going around like, oh, I got this.
Uh-huh.
I got this. And I didn't even know that there was a whole nother world of numbers, like profit and loss. And I was just like, whoa, what is a P&L statement? So that really hurt my feelings because I'm a numbers girl. I won math competitions, but I did not do the research. I didn't educate myself enough to learn that part of business. I just thought that the numbers were the adding and the subtracting. That was it. And it wasn't. So when I learned
Mm.
that I didn't know that part about the business, it hurt my feelings, but I quickly got over it, and I learned, the things that I needed to learn about my business.
Mm. Do you think being young and really good at things, or just being really good at things in general, can make you arrogant because you're trying to force people
Mhm.
to accept your talent?
I don't know if being arrogant is you trying to force anybody to do anything. It's really a mindset of you thinking if they don't deal with it, then forget them. Somebody else will.
Right.
So I don't think arrogance is forcing. It's just like I was always late too to the salon. I was always late. So I really didn't respect my clients' time.
Mm.
But I was like, they'll be there. So I wasn't forcing them to stay. I was just doing me.
Right.
And if they didn't want to stay, then they can leave. That's what I was thinking.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. And it took my best friend to really grow me up extremely fast. I was doing her hair, and like in most, trying to think of a nice way to put it. in most Black salons, it's a known fact that they tend to overbook. And so I think I was doing color that day, I was doing an install that day, and I was doing a roller set that day. And she was like, "How much longer are you gonna be?" And I was like, "Girl, you good. Like, chill out. You all right?" She was like, "No, I'm not gonna chill out. Like, who told you I had all day to be in here?"
Mm,
And I was like, "It doesn't matter. Like, what else you gotta do? You ain't got nothing else to do." She was like, "You don't know that. Like, you don't know if I have something else to do. To just have me sitting in here. Why would you book me with a sew-in knowing that you got to do my roller set? Like, why do I want to sit here and watch you do a silk press? I mean, watch you do a sew-in." It was embarrassing.
mm,
It was embarrassing. She did it like right in front of everybody. And this is my best friend. But I've always seek to grow and to do better. So when my best friend told me that, I knew it had to be some truth in it.
right.
And I just started, working on myself. But it definitely hurt though. Yeah.
Wow. Oof. So I'm guessing that. So is that the moment where you realize that there are some truths about what you're doing that you were not addressing? That it's going to take
And in
more
that
from you.
situation, yeah. Yeah, when being arrogant and not respecting people time, yeah, that was the moment that I realized that it was other areas in my life that I realized a few things too, but
Yeah.
it was all done at different times.
Oof.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I would have been
Yeah.
big mad. I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna lie. I can't. That would be really frustrating. But I'm also.
I think I probably was mad, to be honest with you, because it was embarrassing. So I
Yeah.
think that I was mad. Even now, I still get mad when people tell me about myself. Like it doesn't feel good, but
Right.
I don't get angry. You see what I'm saying? Like I don't feel the need to like lash out or be disrespectful or nasty because that's their truth.
Right.
It's just like a good old, like a good bad review. People, business owners get mad when they get bad reviews. And it's okay to be mad, but at some point in time, you gotta cool down and read that review. Like it's some truth in that review.
Yeah.
It's some growth in there somewhere. So yeah, I was mad, and I'm mad. A lot of the times when people find the nerves to tell me about myself, but I listen, and I grow from it, because if we don't listen to other people, then how we gonna grow? How you gonna know that it's something wrong with you if you're the only person talking to yourself?
mm,
If you walking around like, like, man, this is amazing. My life is amazing. Business is amazing. And you just steady having these same conversations with yourself, all good stuff. And then as soon as somebody tell you about yourself, then you don't want to hear it. Like we,
right.
we need those other people to tell us about ourselves so that we can get out our head.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's really good. You said if you're walking around by yourself, just talking to yourself all the time and hyping yourself up, how are you learning anything?
Yeah.
I think for
Yeah.
myself, I get caught in that because, and not like hyping myself, right? I don't want to make myself sound too crazy, but
I mean, if it
um,
is, it is what it is. If that's your ugly truth, then that's just what it is.
well, I think sometimes I just don't have like I don't I learned to be more strategic and more selective with who I talk to about things that are really important to me. And I think I've learned
Yeah.
that to a fault. Like I do it so well, I don't let people in. And so I
Hmm.
can't properly create sometimes the relationships that I want because I'm used to having to protect my dreams. I'm used to
Yeah.
having to protect my vulnerabilities because in the past when I've needed people or when I've asked for something or when I've been in my hour of need or wanted to tell my truth, it was not received super well. And
Yeah.
obviously you go through that a couple times, you're just like, I'm probably not gonna do that again. So I think I do that to a fault, not because, I'm arrogant or whatever, but just because, I don't want anybody trying to talk me out of what I feel like I need to be doing. That's the last thing I need. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here for that. Like, please don't try to talk me out of what I feel like I need to be doing. Please don't. Because if you're not even an expert in what I'm doing. Like, if you were an expert in podcasting or something and you were like, listen, I really think you should do this way, then I'll take what you have to say. But most of the time, the people who want to tell you something and advise you, they don't know anything about what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
But that's our fault.
Yeah.
So that's good that you're learning not to talk to certain people. Like, I wouldn't go to someone who loves shoes, who spent all their money on shoes, just tons of boxes, just all in their closet, and tell them I want to start a business. They're not gonna see anything in it, right? Like, they're gonna be like, why would you do that? Like, keep working, make your money. We can go do this. We can go travel. Like, I wouldn't talk to small people about big dreams.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't do that, because everybody mental is shaped differently. Like, in my mind, everybody has their own folder, but then there's different boxes with those folders in it. So, like, my family is my family. I only talk to them about family stuff. I don't talk to them about my business. I don't talk to them about entrepreneurship, because I'm the only entrepreneur. So me sitting up talking to them about entrepreneurship is a complete waste of time, because they don't know anything about it. So it's just, it comes off as if you bragging. It comes off as if you think that you're better than somebody else because you know this thing, this topic, this way of life way better than the people that you're talking to. So when I'm ready to talk about entrepreneurship, I speak to other entrepreneurs.
Wow. That was really insightful for me. I always feel like I'm talking to people about stuff they don't care about.
And they shouldn't care. They shouldn't care. McDonald's can care less about JJ's fish. Like, they don't even sell, fried chicken and fish and shrimp. They don't care. Don't tell me nothing about that. Now, you gonna tell me about Burger King and Wendy's, then let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's see how we can do better than them, because all of us sell burgers. So you shouldn't talk to, people about stuff like that. They don't want to help you. Like, they don't care.
They may love you, but they don't care.
They don't care. It has nothing to do with them.
Wow. That's really helpful. That's really helpful.
Yeah.
That is a truth that I hate. That you want really badly to share things with people, and sometimes that's just not what you need to be doing. Like, that doesn't make them any different or you any different. It's just the reality that's not their thing. So why are you talking to them about it?
Yeah, especially when you're trying to get to a certain place in life.
Yeah.
Because it's a chance that they're gonna kill your whole dream.
Yeah.
So unless you've made it, unless you're there, I wouldn't talk to them about it, because they could say one wrong thing and that could completely change your mind.
Wow.
About what it is that you want to do. I'm so sure of my path and where I'm going. If someone was to say something that, that's just like negative, or doesn't have anything to do with where I'm going, or they trying to convince me to stop, I think that's the devil using them. So I dismiss it. I dismiss the whole conversation in my head as if it never happened. Like, I mentioned to somebody I wanted to open up other locations. They told me, you shouldn't do it. You should just keep your one location and be happy with that. Out my head, poof. Like, And this person has several locations. So that's why I was having that conversation with them. But they were saying that they wanted to close all of them and just have one location.
So naturally, they're going to advise you to do the same thing they're thinking about doing.
Exactly. Because people don't think to ask people questions before offering them advice. He never asked me why I wanted to do it. He never asked me my plan. He just gave me some advice based off of his situation.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's so how do you overcome that? How do you overcome um these truths, about like not talking to certain people, not talking to your family, not talking to whomever, learning to be um balanced, but have everybody in different folders. How do you do that? Because for myself, like I told you, I'm extreme, right? So I just won't talk to anybody. And then, a couple months later, they'll be like, I haven't heard from Kid Boy in months. And it's just like, well, because it's difficult for me to do both. It's difficult for me.
Yeah.
I'm either really in and I want to talk to you about what's on my heart or whatever it is. Like, that's my truth.
Yeah.
That's how I express that. And the part that I hate about that is the fact that I can't be 100% with everybody. Like, that's just not even a thing. So how do you, going from your friend, your best friend reprimanding you a little bit in front of other clients, how did you start to change your thinking? What was something you had to do there that helped you over that hump?
I had to become confident in who I am and where I'm going and what I want and what I don't want, what I'm going to be bothered with, what I'm not going to be bothered with. I had to come to that conclusion. And when I came to that conclusion, then that's what made it easier for me to be able to overcome any negativity. It made it easier for me to remove people from my life because I was able to answer all of those questions.
Right. Right.
I know that was a quick answer, but that's exactly how I did it. Like I took the time to, I got tired of feeling the pain. So I had to dig deep within and figure out what I wanted to be bothered with and what I didn't want to be bothered with. And I know I want to be bothered with successful people. I know I want to be bothered with happiness, but I know I don't want to be bothered with sadness. So then I had to decide who I wanted to be bothered with and who I didn't want to be bothered with.
Mm.
And the people who was bringing me sadness, I didn't want to be bothered with them.
Right.
I can't be bothered with them because they're going to slow down where I'm going.
Right.
So that's what I did. I took some time and I spent some time with myself and I asked myself those questions. And I still go back in my mental sometimes and check and see if the same people is in the same folder.
Yeah.
Or can I go ahead and move them over to another folder?
Yeah. Do you think
Yes.
you're, not having a clear view of who you were actually trying to be was contributing to you being arrogant and not timely? And because you just felt like, how would you describe that?
Well, at that moment, I was being who I thought I wanted to be.
Okay.
Yeah. At that moment, I was, living my truth. I was, I wanted to be arrogant. To me, it felt good. I was selfish. I wasn't thinking about, nobody else. I didn't care about how anybody else felt. So at that time, I was living my truth. But when my friend said that, I thought about it like, if she feels this way, that means a lot of other people probably feel the same way.
Right.
Do I want all of these people thinking this way of me? Yes, I wanted to be arrogant. I wanted to do things my way, but I didn't want people to hate me or dislike me for me doing what I wanted to do. But it wasn't a positive thing. Now, I don't care who don't like me. Like, I'm doing what I want to do. Like I'm I'm living my life. I'm living my truth, my 2021 truth. 2022 might be something different, but right now this is me. So
Right.
I don't mind. I don't care if people don't like me. Of course, I want everyone to like me, but I'm not here living for anyone else. I'm living for myself.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, mm, that's a big question. It's like who I want to be. Yeah, you're talented.
Yeah.
Yes, you have gifts. Yeah, you can do this and that. But who is it that you actually want to be? Um,
Yeah. And boundaries, I also had to like put boundaries in place too for the person that I am now. Like if I see that the conversation is going the wrong way, I cut it off. Like, no, I don't want to talk about that type of stuff. If I know that this certain person is mean or negative, nope, I ain't going around them. I don't want to be bothered with them. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
If somebody sends me a text, if somebody send me a long 4-page letter text, I'm never reading it. And I send out a text. I send out a short text and let them know I'm never reading this long text. Sorry. That's exactly what I tell people.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I like to control my space and my mental.
Yeah. Yeah, so that you can create the type of productivity and the mind state that you want to be in so that you can
Hmm.
be that self
Hmm.
that you're trying to be and actually live your truth, not just pretend
Yeah.
to live your truth.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. All right. So, what would be your number one tip to somebody who uh is really trying to figure that out, who is talented or who is on the brink of trying to do something, but they're uncomfortable with the truths that are related to their truth, if that makes any sense? Because
Yeah.
when none of us live in a box, right? On an island, we are connected to other things. Now we make decisions to change those connections so that we represent ourselves the way we want to, like you were saying that you're doing. Um, but some people aren't there. I know for myself, I really have had just like I was saying, like it troubles me that I can't, or that I don't feel as free to share certain things with my family the way that I want to. Because I grew up with, 5 sisters and another brother and 2 parents in the house. There was just all of us. There's children, people everywhere all the time. So you didn't have space. I didn't have space. Like, I live by myself now and I love it because I have my own space, and I didn't have that growing up. So
Yeah.
this idea that I have to actually build more space in certain aspects of my life, that's difficult for me to do, to think about. So, what would be your number one suggestion for anybody who's dealing with that kind of stuff? Today is the day, and now is the time. If you have a good idea, good intentions, and are looking for a way to get audience and to get your great message out to the world, I encourage you to start your very own podcast. You would be surprised the amount of folks who are waiting to hear your content. My name is Kid Boy Cooper, and I have been an audio engineer for the past 7 years, and I am offering one-on-one coaching to help you get through the beginning stages of creating your very own podcast. Please reach out to me and let me know how I can help you. My email address is empoweryoupodcast@gmail.com. We offer one-on-one coaching, a live masterclass, and even a 10-module course that will take you through the entire process of creating, producing, and distributing your podcast to your very own listeners. This is a great avenue to connect with your audience and to connect with people who are in need of your voice. Again, reach out to me at empoweryoupodcast@gmail.com and let's get your podcast started today.
I, I would, I remember telling someone this yesterday. I was texting someone yesterday, and I remember telling them, sometimes you just got to stop. You have to stop everything and get yourself in order. You know how we sort out the mail
Yeah.
and paperwork and stuff, and we put everything in a pile. Like, you have to stop. You have to stop, because it's like having a whole bunch of sticky notes. Like, you got to stop and put things in order. Family is family. Like, if family don't understand you, it is okay. It is okay. You wouldn't walk up to a homeless person and tell them about your millions.
Right.
You'll walk up to a homeless person and tell them, hey, I hope you're doing okay. I'm going to pray for you, and you keep on going.
Yeah.
Family is family. Go around family and talk about football and eat and do things that families do together. If they want to sit up and talk about all they wins, talk about all they wins. Let them talk about all they wins and join in the conversation. But if you want to talk about your wins, you got to get around people that's winning like you, that's doing the things that you want to do. You hold those conversations for them. So that's what I don't know. That's just how I live. Like, everything is in a like, I respect people and who they are and what they want to listen to and what they don't want to listen to. That's just one less person I gotta talk to. So, like, I'm okay with it. Like, my family don't care to talk to me about, my entrepreneurship and my wins and my world and stuff like that, because they think that I'm bougie, and not bougie in a bad way. Like, the bougie, like when people think they better than somebody else, they don't think that. They get mad at me because it's certain things that I like. It's certain things that I want to do. It's certain things that I don't want to do. It's certain things that I'm just not going to do. And they mad. They get irritated that I'm able to say that. But it's okay. Like, if you mad, it's okay. Like, I'll talk to you later. I think it's okay to let people be who they are. Like, as long as you know who you are, it doesn't matter what they think, or if they like you or not. Like, they don't contribute to, who you are and where you going. Like, nowhere on the IRS tax form does it say, does your mama like what you doing? Like,
Facts.
I don't know.
Facts.
So for those that's trying to figure that out, I would just figure out who I am first. Like, you cannot figure out who other people are and how to deal with them if you do not know who you are and what you want and what you don't want and what you're willing to be bothered with and what you're not willing to be bothered with. Like, you gotta know that. So if you know who you are, I know I'm a human. I know I'm a woman. I know I'm not going to stand up to no man and think that I can whoop him. That's not me. Like, I'm not built that way. I'm not about to do it. I know that I'm not about to be out there running with elephants. I'm a human. I'm not about to be out here running with no elephants. Like, I don't put myself in those situations to where I have to even be bothered with what someone else thinks about me. If I go around family, I'm being the person that they know me to be. The happy, fun, bubbly. Let's eat. And when I'm tired of being that person and I'm ready to go, then I leave. That's it. Like,
you make it sound so simple.
It's not simple. It's it takes some work. It's trial and error. Like, there was a time when I was trying to figure out who I was, and I voiced that to them. And you don't need to voice who you are. No woman needs to walk around and say, I'm a grown woman. No stuff. Like, you're grown. Like, you don't have to say that. No man has to walk around and say, I'm a grown man. So I was dropping the ball by voicing who I was, and I didn't need to do that. They see who I am. They see I'm not the same little, can't tell you my nickname, but that same little person, like they see that. I don't need to tell them I'm grown, right now. I don't need to tell them that. They see it. They hear it. They hear it from other people. So it's not easy, but it's either you figure out who you are or you're gonna be somebody else. Like, and you're gonna allow people to shape you into who they think you should be. That's what that whole imposter, syndrome and stuff come from, being jealous of others and trying to mock and be others. Like,
Yeah.
make a decision on who you are and where you're going and let it be that. If you got to walk to the corner, on no day in your head are you going to say, man, I'm going to fly to this corner. No, you're not. You're going to walk. That's who you are. You walk places. That's what you do. Stick to that. If you want to drive. But I don't know, just don't let nobody like change you. Like, be who you want to be. Like, and those who don't like it, then you just got to give them some space.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Like, nobody, they not dead. I'll see you later.
You said they're not dead.
Yeah, I'll see you later. And if you don't want to be around them, then don't be around them. Some of my family members, I don't go around. It's not that I hate them or anything. I just don't choose to be in that environment. Or I just don't choose to talk to them. It's not the end of the world. It's we all live in our own lives. Like, at what point in time when you were coming up, did your mama ask you, what should she do?
Never. Never. She always had the plan.
Exactly. Our family and friends, they do what they want to do when they want to do it. When we were younger, nobody was asking us that stuff. And they not going to call and ask us that now. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why even consider that when you're trying to make your own plans about your own life and your own future?
Because guess what they doing right now while me and you on this podcast?
Whatever they want to do.
Whatever they want to do. And they ain't asked you if they can do it. We gonna call them. You didn't ask me if you can be yourself.
Right.
Yeah, I think people should just learn how to be themselves and be comfortable in the skin that they're in. And if they're not comfortable in the skin that they're in, then get comfortable in the skin that you're in.
Right.
I hope that wasn't too much.
Oh, that was a lot. It was absolutely a lot, but it was absolutely perfect too. It was perfect. It was perfect. Okay, last question before I let you go. I know it's getting late. Thought exercise. What do you do in the morning? What are you reading? What do you do like manifestations? Do you have a vision board? Tell us something that we can start practicing.
That's not my thing. My thing is in the morning, I lay in the bed. Like, when I first open my eyes, I don't care if I have to use the restroom. I don't care if I'm thirsty. The very first thing I say is, thank you, God, for waking me up. That's the very first thing I say. Like, I don't care if I wake up 3 times in the middle of the night. That's what I always say. Thank you, God, for waking me up. That's the very first thing that I say. Another thing that I do first thing in the morning is I pray. I do not get out that bed. I don't even be ready to get out the bed. Let me tell you how excited I be about getting up. The last thing I want to do is touch my phone, look at some vision board, think about a vision board. I want to hear what God got to say to me. Because I know he been asleep all night because I was asleep all night. So I'm guessing he sleep when I sleep, right? So when I wake up, I want to hear what he got to tell me. I want to know if he's ready to answer my questions and my prayers. So I'm still every single morning. And I'm up probably like about 4, sometimes 5 o'clock in the morning. And I just lay there. And I wait for the word. Even if the word is, it's okay to get up.
It's time to get up. It's time to get up.
Yeah. So that's what I do every morning. Of course, I'm on the morning meetup with you. So
Absolutely.
I'm on that call every morning. And while I'm on that call, that's the time that I am either creating content or I am returning emails or DMs or anything or something like that. And I'm also sitting there with a pen and pad so that I can take notes and stuff like that. I know that the millionaires don't do it that way. Um, but I'm on this morning call at 7 a.m. my time. So to say that I'm gonna meditate and do this and do that, it's unrealistic because I'm on a call with like 300 people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm not meditating.
I try to, I think I very much resonate with that. I love that because sometimes I don't want to get out of bed, and I'm an early riser. I also don't sleep very much, but I love that. Just be completely still.
Yeah.
That's
the time that I spend with God every morning. Like he already know where to find me at.
I'll be here.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah. I don't have a vision board because I manifest what I want. So I don't know. I don't feel the need to cut paper out and put it on a board. Not that it's anything. Not that it's anything wrong with it, right? To each its own. No, it's not. It's just that it's just not my thing.
Right.
Like to each his own. It's just not my thing.
Yeah, I can't do anything but respect that. Because
whatever my visions are, like I'm going for it.
Yeah.
So if my vision is to purchase a 20 unit, I'm going for it. Like I don't need to put that on a board. I'm already working towards that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what you're thinking about all the time. That's what you're looking at. That's what you're searching for.
Yeah.
You're gonna run across it.
Towards it. Yeah, if I want a particular, purse or I'm not a big shopper, so that's why I'm stuttering saying that part. But if it's somewhere that I want to go, I'm going. Like I just need to look at my calendar. Like I don't need to. I don't know. I just don't operate that way. Like that's just not my. A vision board was like never ever my thing.
Yeah.
And that's because I also think it's not my thing because I'm something like a minimalist. Like I don't need everything. I just need to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it.
Right.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah. So I don't visualize. I want to go to the Maldives and I want to go, to Alaska and I want to go to Paris and I want to go to Germany. Like I don't think about that stuff because the moment that I open my eyes up or the moment I'm walking down the street or the moment I'm driving and I say, hey, I want to go to Paris, I'm looking at my schedule. When am I going to Paris? Like,
yeah. Put a date on it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that wasn't shade. It was a little shade, but it wasn't shade.
Well, if y'all are out there and make vision boards and stuff, I pulled out all the stops this year. I'll be honest with you. I made a vision board. I wrote down everything I wanted to do in each quarter of the year. I went ahead and have hired somebody to help me do like social media, to help me build my website, which I got built. I went and did all my legal stuff. So I see that. I hear what you're saying there because this is all I think about. I'm bad at doing other things in my life because I'm just always thinking about this.
Yep.
And that is
so I already have the vision within me. But that's me though. Like that's what works for me. That's what has been working for me. But I'm not one of those people like, oh my God, let me go get some Gucci glasses. Like that's just not me. Like it's just I don't know. I already know that I'm purchasing a property this year. I already know I'm purchasing another salon next year. I already know that I'm going to purchase a property wherever that salon is at in whatever state that is that next year. I already know I want a condo with windows from the floor to the ceiling. Like I'm already putting this stuff into motion. Like I already know what I'm doing each quarter. Yes, I write down my quarterly goals. I definitely do that. But I don't know. I don't feel the need to put on the vision board a salon, a building, a salon, another building in this state, in this state. I'm already working. I'm already moving in that direction.
Right.
But that's just me though.
Yeah.
I might do a vision board next year. You never know.
Right.
That's just where I'm at right now.
Right. I get that.
Yeah. To each his own, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Whatever gets you there. Whatever gets you there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for spending some time. I really, really, really appreciate it. I needed to hear a lot of that. And if you're listening and you really vibe with this episode, go to whatever you're listening to this on and leave a rating and a review and say that you loved it. Find Lalitha Arnold on Instagram. Where can they find you? What's your Instagram handle?
They can find me on Instagram. My business page is She Is Lalitha, where there's a link in my flow page for you to take a DISC assessment, or you can book a coaching call with me, or you can hit the link in my bio where you could go over to my salon page if you want to book a hair appointment, or if you're looking to work in a professional commission-based salon. On all social media platforms, I am Envy Me Team or She Is Lalitha.
All right. Y'all heard it. You can contact her. She's phenomenal. She's been so helpful to me. And I just thank you for spending some time. I know it's late over there and you've been running your business all day and you still got on the call. And I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
So to anybody who's listening to this, share this with a friend. It's not enough to have the information. We have to share the information because for each one of us that is figuring it out, there's somebody else who is struggling trying to figure it out. So we have to share. So share this episode, leave a rating and a review, subscribe, talk about Empower You Podcast to somebody who you think could really appreciate it. Not everybody, but somebody who you know is on that wavelength that you are. So I appreciate you all so much for listening. Lalitha, you want to close us out?
Yeah, I'm going to close you guys out. So this is one thing that I think about and that I wanted to share. I pray a lot, right? And a lot of my team, in my salon, I call them my team. And they always asking me, how come you so chill? Like, why you don't let things bother you? Why you don't let things get to you? And the reason I don't let things get to me is because I pray about it. If I have control over it and I can fix it, I fix it. If I don't have control over it, then I pray about it and I let God do his thing. Of course, I know faith without work is dead. So I still do my part that I'm supposed to do, but I don't think worrying about it is one of those things that he wants us to do. So I challenge you guys to just pray about things sometimes and let God deal with it. If I was God and you guys came praying to me about stuff and y'all still down here crying and worrying about it, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to fix it for you. What you asking me to fix it for?
Right.
You crying, you down there still worrying about it. So shoot, I think you gonna figure it out. Let me know when you done. And then I'm gonna step on in and do something for you. So I just challenge everyone to pray more, let God do his part, you do your part, and just move on, just let it go. What is for you is for you, and what's not isn't.
What is for you is for you, and what is not is not.
It's just not.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate you so much. All right, y'all. You know what to do. Subscribe to Empower You Podcast. Share it with a friend, and we will talk to you a little bit later.
Bye, you guys.
Peace. Empower You Podcast is devoted to bringing real-world wisdom and encouragement to our listeners. We discuss a multitude of life principles and the process from an economic, cultural, and societal perspective. We believe that through tough conversations and shared wisdom, we can pave the path and leave a ladder for the future. Subscribe to our channel and let us empower you.